There are nights when the world goes quiet with you. Not to punish you. Not because something is wrong. Because something wants to tell you what the day will not let you hear. Tonight is one of those. If you are awake while the world sleeps, listen carefully. Because what you are about to hear changes the way you spend a sleepless night. Insomnia is not your enemy. It is an ascent in disguise. Breathe. Decades ago, a man named Alexander Solzhenitsyn was a prisoner in a Soviet camp. Cold, hunger, humiliation. But he discovered something strange there. That he had more time to think than when he had been free. He wrote about it in a chapter called The Ascent. He wrote that material results are not what matters most. What matters most is what happens to the soul when it goes still. And he added something more. That the infinite, the one that sustains everything without asking anything, speaks very softly. That is why it needs silence. Tonight you have that silence. Before we go on, breathe the way one breathes when one wants to sleep. Take air in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that air inside for 7 seconds. Release the air through your mouth for 8 seconds. Again. Inhale 4. Hold 7. Exhale 8. This breath is ancient. The body knows what it means. It means There is nothing left to fight. Now imagine something. You're lying in a small cell, not a cell of punishment, a cell of retreat, like the ones monks used for centuries to hear what the world would not let them hear. There is a bed where your body rests. There is a cold wall, but not a cruel one. There is a great silence. And there is one single window. The window is high up, small, square. And through it you see the night sky. Stars. Only stars. Thousands of lights traveling toward you from millions of years ago. In this cell you cannot do anything. You cannot work. You cannot solve. You cannot produce. And that, exactly that, is the gift. Outside, life gives you tasks every day. Things to solve. Goals to chase. And the mind, busy with all of that, never manages to hear what lies beneath. Inside the cell, all of that ends. And in that emptiness, something begins to speak. Not a voice with words, a clarity, a certainty without explanation. Solzhenitsyn wrote, "I bless you, prison, for what I saw in myself there. Insomnia is your temporary cell. The world withdraws material results from you for a few hours. You cannot work. You cannot produce. You are lying down, alone. without tasks. And the first reaction is to fight. I have to sleep. This is wasted time. But what you call wasted time is the only time many masters ever got in their entire lives. Breathe. The Baal Shem Tov taught that the presence that sustains everything is in every corner of the universe, in the falling leaf, in the stone, in your breath. There is no place where that presence is not. Not even in insomnia. But it speaks softly. So softly that the noise of the day always covers it. Only in moments of surrender does it let itself be heard. Tonight, lying here, unable to produce anything, you are in one of those moments. Return to the cell. There is a lit candle beside your bed. The flame is tiny, but it does not go out. It trembles a little, leans, steadies, continues. That is how the infinite lives inside you. Small in appearance, impossible to extinguish. The flame does not compete with the darkness. Where there is a flame, the darkness is no longer total. Release the jaw. Release the shoulders. Release the forehead. Just listen. Sydney Banks, a Scottish welder, saw one day that when thought grows quiet, something appears. Something that had always been there, covered by mental noise. He called it clarity. Others call it pure consciousness. Others call it the infinite. The name does not matter. What matters is that it appears on its own when the noise stops. Breathe. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale, 8. The cell is still. The candle continues. The window still shows stars. And you lying here no longer fight. There is something the quieted mind understands that the busy mind can never understand. It understands that you are not the results. You are not tomorrow's work. You are not even the tiredness of this night. You are what is watching all of that. And what watches does not tire. It does not produce. It only is. Solzhenitsyn wrote it like this: the line dividing good from evil does not pass between countries or between people. It passes through the middle of every human heart. And that line is only visible in silence. In noise, everything blurs. In silence, everything becomes clear. That is why this night is valuable. It is not a lost night. It is a rare night. A night where what is usually covered has space to appear. Breathe. There is no urgency left, because you have understood that insomnia is doing something for you, not against you. It is softening layers. It is removing noise. It is letting the infinite speak softly. If an anxious thought arrives, let it arrive. It is a wave on the surface, not the cell, not the candle. The cell continues. The candle continues. Tonight, the world has given you time. A rare kind of time. A time you cannot use for anything productive. And that is the whole point. If you try to use it to solve something, you waste the gift. If you let it be what it is, time without function, it returns you to yourself. Breathe. The bed holds you. The ceiling does not fall. The body knows how to breathe without you. There is nothing to do. Listen. There is a sound that is not a sound. A sound beneath all sounds. The monks called it the silence that sings. The Baal Shem Tov called it the soft voice beneath all voices. What matters is that it is there, and that tonight, in pieces, you touch it. When you touch it, you stop being afraid of not sleeping. Because what you found in the not sleeping is more valuable than a night of perfect sleep. The candle continues. The stars continue. The cell stays quiet. And you are inside something enormous that pretends to be small. Release. What never tires inside you is awake. What does tire inside you wants to sleep? Let the one that tires fall asleep. And let the one that never tires stay with you, holding the night. There is no longer insomnia. There is sacred vigil. That is the difference. Same bed. Same hour. Another night. The sacred vigil asks for nothing. Does not rush. Only listens. And while you listen, the body loosens on its own, without you forcing it. Think of Solzhenitsyn lying on his cold bunk, not knowing if he would come out alive, and blessing that moment. You are not in a prison. You are in a warm bed with a roof. But you have access tonight to the same clarity you found. Because clarity does not depend on conditions. It depends on silence. Breathe. The breath grows longer. The chest softens. The face relaxes. You are not doing this. What never tires is doing it. Release. You do not have to understand any of this. You do not have to remember it tomorrow. The part of you that has no words already understood. And that part is carrying you towards sleep by a new road. The road of Ascent. rising towards something stiller than you, and letting that stillness put you to bed. The cell slowly dissolves. The window becomes all of the sky. The candle becomes a single star among thousands. You are no longer inside a place. You are inside the night itself. And the night knows you. You are never insomnia's enemy. It was never yours. It was a messenger with a low voice who came to tell you something you already knew but had forgotten. The one that sustains without a name is here, not outside, not in another life. Air, in your breath, in your chest, in the space between your thoughts. Breathe. The body feels heavy. The eyelids feel heavy. The mind quiets without effort. What wanted to speak has spoken. The work is already done. Now only release remains. And if tomorrow insomnia comes back, you already know what it is. Not a punishment. Not a failure. An ascent in disguise. A cell with a window to the sky. A small candle that does not go out. A low voice that had something to tell you. Breathe one last long breath. Inhale, 4. Hold 7. Exhale 8. Release everything. Release the night. Release tomorrow. Release the need to sleep. Release the need to understand. You're already held by what never tires. You do not have to do anything more. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep.